All right, well, thank you for coming today
thank
and
you.
meeting with me, Mr. Skolnick. Did I say that right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. So I understand that your daughter just got diagnosed with diabetes
Yes, she did.
and you're getting ready for her to come back into school.
We hope so.
Yeah.
So soon.
So how are you doing with all this?
Well, as you can imagine, I mean, Jessica was fine last week. We've never had any problem. You know, she showed a few. She was tired last week, but obviously when she was hospitalized and then we got the news, it was pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Both for my wife and I.
Yeah. Sometimes it starts out so vague you don't really think that there's anything serious that's going on. And then when you find out, it's pretty overwhelming. It's a complex condition, and then along with that is all the things that need to be done in order to maintain and keep her healthy. So we need to work on getting her back into school. And as you're probably discovering, there's a lot that needs to be done just in terms of day-to-day management. And so we need to look at those things in the school setting to try and figure out what we can do during the school day to keep her safe, because that's our role as nurses, is to keep kids safe in school. And
but she doesn't have a school nurse every day of the week at her school.
That's right.
Just, I think 1 day, 2 days a week maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is all the more reason why we have to do some planning, because nurses are spread out, and even though they're available by phone, they're not in a school 5 days a week. So we have to look at what do we need to do and what does the school need to do in order for her to have a safe day, whether the nurse is there or not. And if there is a problem, what to do around that problem so that they can manage it and move on as things come up.
So what is her care? What do we have to do?
Well, so during the school day, there's generally a couple things, and again, it'll depend on the doctor's orders. Generally, there's blood sugar testing that goes on during the day. For some students, it's just at lunchtime. For others, it's perhaps more often. We'll look and see what those orders look like for your daughter. Sometimes there's carbohydrate counting that goes on at lunchtime, where we look at what the lunch menu is or what's brought in from home and count up the number of carbohydrates that are part of the meal, and then that's calculated into what the insulin dosage is going to be around mealtime.
So the insulin dose could change?
It could, depending on the amount of carbohydrates that she eats at lunchtime.
What about when the nurse isn't there the 3 days out of the week? Who would she talk to about this, or where would she go?
We provide training to school staff, so there'll be a designated person in the school that will work with her on that. Usually it's the secretary, because they're in the main office. They're the ones that see students on a regular basis. So we'll talk to the principal at the school to see who in the building it is that they are going to designate as the caregiver, and then we work with that staff person to provide that training.
Secretary, but they're not a healthcare person. They're not a nurse or anything. How does a secretary know how to do that?
Well, in Oregon, we have this process known as delegation, and the way that works is that under the training and direction of the nurse can provide certain trainings to school staff that are normally things that would be done traditionally by a nurse. It's called a delegation. And under the delegated training, the nurse provides specific training and information so that school staff can provide those types of tasks during the school day.
And you're sure this works? Other schools do this?
Mm-hmm.
It's not...
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do it a lot for a lot of different procedures, and under the statutes for delegation, the nurse provides specific one-on-one training with this person, not only just sitting down and going over it, but also observing that person providing that training or that treatment and what's been trained.
Well, this is new, and my daughter's really pretty scared about this.
I bet.
Is there somebody that she can talk to if she gets scared or she feels like her I don't think she even knows yet what it feels like for blood sugar to be high or low, but
Uh-huh.
would there be can she leave class if she's feeling bad, or is there some safeguard for her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There'll be information that goes out to her school teachers to let them know that she has diabetes.
Is that the 504 thing that I've heard about?
There is a 504. This is just a general teacher notification that goes out so that key people in the building, the classroom teacher, staff that have direct contact with her will know about her condition.
Okay.
And will know that she needs to be watched, and what kinds of signs and symptoms that might be. Because for a student with diabetes, if they were to put their head down on their desk and look like they were falling asleep, that might not be the case for a diabetic versus another student that maybe just stayed up too late at night and is tired. So we want the staff to be able to recognize that it might be something going on and to call for help so that the student could get checked. So
Okay.
we're going to do our best to move as quickly as we can because we want your daughter back in school, and I'm sure you and she want that too, but we just want to make sure that when she gets there she's safe. So I could give you a call tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, if you can get those orders over to me.
Can I fax them to you at this office here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That would be great. And then I'll look over them and get started, and in the meantime we'll check with the school and see what's going on there, and then I can give you an update, and we'll get her going here as quick as we can.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Ann.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
yeah, and stay in touch with us, and we'll stay in touch with you when things
Okay.
change or we need to check in with each other. All right.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.